Okay, so we are going to be looking at the division of polynomials. Now, what you'll have is a polynomial of order 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, divided by a polynomial of a smaller order. So in this case, we have a cubic divided by a linear polynomial, power 3, power 1. And what we're asked to do is calculate this. X minus 2 into x cubed, 5x squared, 8x, and 4. Now what's really important with these, especially when we get into the next example, is that we keep everything in a straight line. So x cubed in a straight line, x squared, x's, and 4s. Even if you don't have any of them, line, in a straight line, okay? Now this is basically a more complicated version of long division. Basically what you need to do is look at the x and see how many times x goes into x cubed. X goes into x cubed, x squared times. So I'm going to put x squared at the top. That will be the leading the leading term. 1 will be the coefficient of the remainder, or of the other bit of the division, sorry. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take x squared and I'm going to times it by x minus 2 and write that underneath. X squared times x minus 2 is x cubed. You should see those cancel out. And then we have minus 2x squared. That's this times this. And just like with normal division, what you want to do is you want to subtract. So I'm going to take this and subtract this off. Minus 5, take negative 2 is minus 3. So I'm left with minus 3x squared. And what I'm going to do is I'm now just going to bring the 8x down. I can bring the 4 down as well if I want to, but it's not necessarily that useful. We won't use it until the next term, plus 8x. What we're doing is we're effectively identifying each term in the other brackets. Okay? X goes into, x comes down here into minus 3x squared, so I'll be left with minus 3x. Again, keep it in a line, minus 3x. Multiply back across and bring it underneath, so minus 3x times x is minus 3x squared. Minus 3x times minus 2 is plus 6x. And again, I subtract. Minus 3x squared, take minus 3x squared is 0. 8x take 6x is 2x. And what I do is I bring my minus 4 now all the way down. So I have minus 4. And I see how many times this goes into that. And you should be able to see it's plus 2. So I'm left with 2x minus 4. I'm left with nothing. Now this is a very long-winded way of basically doing factorising. So I can say that x cubed 8x minus 4 equals, in my first bracket is x minus 2, and in my second bracket it's x squared minus 3x plus 2. Okay, and you can expand them out. If you expanded these two brackets out, this is what you get. Let's do another example. Okay, let's do one more example. Let's say I wanted to divide 2x cubed minus x plus 51 by x plus 3. Now the thing that you should note or spot is that there's no x squared term here. Okay, if you want to pause the video, have a go at it, but because there's no x squared term here, you just need to be a little bit careful. We've got a bus stop method again, so we've got x plus 3. But if you have a 0 in there, remember what I was saying before, you still need to write it down. So with 2x cubed, we have no x squareds, we have minus x and 51. Now what this will do is it will allow us a place to write the rest of the x squareds. Because I will have x squareds coming out, just because there's no x squared here, doesn't mean I won't have an x squared in the rest of my terms. So, how many times does x go to 2x cubed? Well, it goes in 2x squared times. And now you can see immediately, it's a good thing we wrote this 0x squared. If we didn't and we had an x here, then they wouldn't be in a line. Okay? 2x squared times x plus 3 is 2x cubed, and we have plus 6x squared. Subtract. I get minus 6x squared, and I bring my minus x down. X goes into minus 6x squared times minus 6x. That times this is minus 6x squared minus 18x. Hopefully you're seeing that it's really important that you work through these slowly and that we align everything up. Okay? If you don't and you are messy, it's really, really difficult. Subtract again. It's the same method all the way through, and the 51 is going to come down, as I'm sure you know. 6x squared cancel, minus x, take negative 18, two negatives make a plus, so it's 17x plus 51. 17 times 3 is indeed 51, so we should expect a plus 3 on the, a plus 1 on the end. Oh, sorry, no, plus 17, because x goes into 17 that many times. So, we'll just double check, 17 times x is indeed 17x. 17 times 3 is 51, our remainder is 0, that's fantastic. We can therefore say that 2x cubed minus x plus 51 is x plus 3, 2x squared minus 6x plus 17. And when you're in your exams, to double check that you've done it right, I would advise that you do actually expand these brackets and make sure that you do get this. Okay? You should see that the x squareds are going to cancel. The only x squareds that occur are here, 6x squared, and here, minus 6x squared. So they will indeed cancel. Expand the rest of the brackets and you'll get this. Okay?